Bentornati amici, welcome back my friends to the Cataclysm. We are here once again with Team Knudsen in our trusty meth lab, our vehicles that has been taking us around for a very long and extensive scouting journey. We have traveled a lot and explored many places. Oh, actually, I can click around and move the map. That's a good start. Let's start by discovering something about the UI that I didn't know. I can click, left click, and that moves the cursor. That is incredibly useful. Anyway, in the last one, we have met a new friend. We've met Mr. Warner, the rabbit farmer mutant guy in here. He gave us a quest too. He wants some wood logs that sooner or later we will be able to chop down a couple of trees and bring him some logs, and he will probably either teach us something or actually gift us a, I don't know, maybe a couple of rabbits so that we can start our farm. Anyway, the road has brought us to the small village of Hammond, and let's see if we can get out of this small village. It's just 4 houses and a crossroad and a couple of homeless camps. The first homeless camp we left behind already. I don't think you can find anything in here. They are basically like temporary shelters. There's some makeshift beds and a brazier. Anyway, let's park here. I don't think we are... Yes, we were still driving, so let's stop driving. Of course, safe mode was on. We need to disable it. Let's look very briefly at our inventory. We are not over encumbered in any way, which is good. Now, I don't expect to find huge resistance in here, much like the last small village we went through. But there's a zombie cop. Must be even further south. So let's focus on this too for now. They're just a regular zombie and a decayed zombie. And let's see how they fare against our pitchfork. We let them come close, poise ourselves to strike, and then swing wide and miss. Also, our torso encumbrance throws us off balance. What is our torso encumbrance? Is 28 plus 2 it's high, but it's not unmanageable. Not at all unmanageable. We should have been able to strike. Anyway, let's take a couple of steps. Let's sprint backwards for a second and let's try again. Let's take our stance. Let them come through. Come near, actually. We should be able to quickly strike, hitting the tab key. Yes! We pierce the zombie for 20 damage, stabbing it right in the torso. We take a couple of quick steps backwards, wait again, and repeat for another 19 damage. And again, as a deadly dance. Now, I don't want to get too much near the vehicle. Again, we swing wildly and miss. What I want to avoid is the zombies getting stuck on the edge of the vehicle, because what they do then is they start bashing and damaging the sides of the vehicle. And I skipped a turn, which I didn't intend to do, so let's sprint for a second. that zombie actually leaped. It copied me. He saw me sprinting and he made a sprint of his own. And again we swing wildly and miss. And we are grabbed. So it looks like, compared to the makeshift glaive, this pitchfork is a little bit more unwieldy because we are missing a lot more. That also, and the fact that sometimes the zombies seem to be able to take like a couple of turns. It doesn't happen always, maybe once every 5 or 6 turns they are able to do 2 things at once. And the second thing that this guy did was grabbing us. So we are now grabbed with and we're trying to fight him with a pole arm. I don't know exactly if there's any penalty in using a long weapon in this situation, but basically if we were trying to move now, we would have a chance based on our strength to break the grab, but it's probably better to just try and continue to fight the zombie since he's already heavily injured. Let's see how it goes. And just like that, quickly using the handle of the pitchfork, twist it, break the grab, and stop the zombie in the head. 28 damage it's a critical hit, and the zombie collapses. Again, we swing wildly. So let's make an experiment in here. What was that thump? I heard thump. I want to drop. All right. I'm wearing both a backpack and a molly pack. So let's drop one of those. This brings the encumbrance down of 4 points. And maybe now it's gonna be a little bit better. Maybe. And the zombie dies. Now, decayed zombies are very easy to kill anyway. I'm a little bit preoccupied about that sound that we heard before. Let's try and dismember these guys really quickly. Golfing gloves. Not too interesting. What am I seeing in here? A raccoon. Oh, it must be the raccoon playing with the brazier. Is this a log? Yes. We could collect that log, you know, pack it in the vehicle if we wanted. Maybe when we come back. Let's get the backpack and let's not wear it for now. Dismember this other zombie. Quick look. Glove liners, sports sandals. Nothing immediately useful. Alright, all in all, still good. We are undamaged. Let's wait until we catch our breath. The other thing I wanted to look at is what is our speed. Our speed is 100 and our move is 92, so we spend 92 action points to move a space. What's the encumbrance on our feet again? It is 10. Why is it yellow though? Why yellow. Let's look at the layers. Something strange. Socks and steel-toed boots. I don't understand, for example, why is this green? We have green feet, apparently. We are happy, we eat gross food. Oh look, maybe looking at... So I'm pressing tab to go through the various, well, of course, tabs. However, it doesn't seem to go in here. Torso is about dodge. Legs. Running movement point cost +1, it says on the legs. And dodge skill minus 0.2. But I mean, how do you get your encumbrance on the legs below 7 and 9? Running movement point cost +5. But just running, not the... We are not incurring in a walking point cost penalty. Again, for science, let's drop for a second the steel-toed boots. It was 192, right? Let's take a couple steps. Oh wait, actually, without shoes, it's even worse. So, we should try and acquire maybe tennis shoes or something like that to actually test. So let's put the steel-toed boots on again. And do we want to try and test the damage of our pitchfork against the zombie cop? I am willing to try. Again, because this place is fairly isolated, I'm not seeing any more zombies than this. I'm also seeing a 24-inch wide wheel in perfect condition, which makes me happy, because I'm thinking of the vehicles I could put that on. There's a decayed zombie south. Now I must be careful, because the more I get near these corners, the more I could reveal zombies that could be actually pretty close to us. So let's swing this way. The zombie cop is fortunately not bashing too hard on that car, so it's not making too much noise. I would like him to come near me. Alright, I'm here. 9 damage, good, it's visible. Let's run back a couple of steps. Wait for him and strike again for 12. Nice, so our pitchfork with the long, how do you call them? The spikes, prongs, is able to penetrate the cop armor. We try and swing again, but we miss as the zombie swaggers to the right. Whoa, we pierce again, this time through his face mask for a 17 damage critical, followed by another crit, by another miss, and then a hit. We are now getting tired of running backwards. We need to finish this quickly. We turn towards the field, wait for the zombie to approach again, and strike now desperately, but we find the mark for a 23 damage critical. Let's wait a while, catch our breath so we don't have to listen to Tim breathing so hard all the time. Let's dismember and see. He had quite a bit of cash and a two-way radio. More than the radio. I'm liking the 300 battery charges right there. Hiking boots. What am I looking at? 12 while being poor fit. Now they are also fairly damaged, so I'm thinking hiking boots are gonna be quite good if we are able to, well, clean them first, repair them second, which probably would involve us having at least 2 or 3 levels of tailoring, and then also improving the fit. So it's not gonna be easy, but I'm willing to get them anyway. So we got battery charge out of that, and some hiking boots to work on. I want to peek over this corner. Now, last time I tried peeking, it was when I was trying to sneak in the library, and that didn't work too well. Why? I thought a bit about it, and I think because I waited till I got in here before peeking. Because when you use the peek command, which is capital X, for example, I might now try and peek in this direction. Okay, now I am peeking. It means I can look around as if I was here, but I'm not really here. I'm still in here. So, for example, a zombie that was in here shouldn't be able to see me right now. Problem is, because I waited till I got in here, I was already visible when I got in here. So when I peeked and I saw the large portion of the zombies that were around the library, I was already spotted. So, for example, let's try and start peeking from here. We reveal a large portion and not much in terms of enemies, fortunately. Nice, and there's also a garage in here, which is a chance for tools. Not to mention, this probably drivable. No, the vehicle tank is broken. But this Humvee is really inviting in here. Anyway, we got 2 or 3 more easy zombies now. These 2 back in here are going towards something. They saw something and are going towards the woods, which again works for us. Let's dispatch the decayed zombies. Swing wildly and miss. That is becoming a mantra for us. Come towards me and stab again for 19 damage. And the zombie dies. Again. Dismember real quick. Take a really quick look. Light gloves, a wedding dress and a veil. Oh boy, this was a bride. So sorry. I'm so sorry. It's not my fault though. So, sorry, not sorry. Let's take a look at this Humvee, shall we? It has enough wheels, which are of the good sort. These are 32 inches armored wheels. Unfortunately, it doesn't have tank nor batteries. But oh, and the alternator is busted. So I'm thinking this one will serve as spare parts for the armored personal carrier that we found in the like one of the first episodes. So this will be 4 out of the 8 wheels that we will need for that. However, there is stuff inside here. Look at that. A steel jerry can, half full of diesel, which is really, really nice. So let's actually wait a second and finish exploring and make sure we got rid of most of the opposition in here before bringing our vehicle closer, so that we don't have to go back and forth too much. What do we have here? A small pond. And I want to understand what these zombies are doing. They are getting in this swamp for some reason. Why? What are you doing? Did you see a fish? They are following a squirrel. Anyway, they are getting far enough that are not a problem. They are not a problem anymore. Unless I manage to make so much noise coming in with the vehicle that they come back. Let's take a quick look at this one. There's a couple of liters of gas, nothing serious. There's wheels. Four good wheels. So let's start adding a couple of notes. Note in here. V for vehicle. V for vehicle. Green for the color. Or I should say G for the color green. Actually, don't do V. That looks like a house. Let's do W for wheel. 4 good condition 17-inch wheels. And in here, let's make another note, also in green. Actually, yeah, green, the green. W again. And I wanna say Humvee. 4 32-inch wheels, no alternator, no tank, no batteries, so that we know exactly what we found and how it could be useful for us. Now, let's get in. Start the engine, and we will make a couple of stops. First stop. Let go of the controls. Grab this wheel. Dispose of the pitchfork, store in inventory. I'm grabbing a huge wheel. Do I see it in here? Probably not. Can I drop it just like that? In the mobile MacLeod trunk. Good. Then take the controls again. Accelerate. Go around. And actually backwards a little bit, don't crash in the Humvee. Stop in here. So let's grab this. Destination area is full. Remove some items first. What if I do this though? Get items. I can wield it can carry it. So we got a very good quantity of diesel. Let's drop it in here. Still try to can. 10 liters of diesel. There is also a turret in here. This one. A mounted M2 for what am I saying? 240. I couldn't number for a second. What I want to look at, can I just inspect? Turret mount in here, a rotating universal mount for a weapon. Mounted M240. For some reason I want to say 2014, which makes no sense. Yes, this is the info I was looking for. Turrets, mounted M240. It has 91 7.62 by 51 millimeter M80 ammo, which we could get in here, hit capital U to unload. Maybe. Why can't I? I'm here, the turret is here. Remove the mounted. Requires mechanics too, but I'm pretty sure I could just D for unload. The vehicle has no solid fuel left to remove. Was it like this? Ah, yes. Okay. So you need to press E and then hit the directional key that corresponds to the place where the turret actually is, and you get this. Unload the mounted M240. We unloaded the ammo belt in our inventory. Now it would also be really good at some point to come back and take the actual weapon that is mounted there. But for now, let's store the ammo belt in here. Now, for the houses, you have seen me loot a number of different homes already, so the next section will probably be sped up, and I will only stop to talk about interesting stuff that hopefully I'll find. So, see you in a sec. We have just found a fencing weapon. I don't know exactly how to pronounce this. I'm guessing there's an error with diacritics, accented vowels. I think this is an épée. This is a weapon used for fencing, the most noble of all sports. The épée, if that's even what it's called, is the heaviest and stiffest of the fencing weapon, and therefore perhaps the most useful. Now, if you only look at the damage, is a little bit underwhelming. It's 3 bash and 7 pierce, However, the to-hit bonus of +2 is really nice, and the moves per attack are 95, so it's pretty fast. But look also at the techniques. Precise strike, stun for 2 turns in case of criticals, then rapid strike, 50% moves for 66% damage. Rapid strike is really good. It means basically that we get to make 2 attacks, because a rapid strike only uses 50% of the movement points, but will do only 66% of the damage. Now also it has high blocking ability, that is nothing to scoff at. Now the problem with this would be though that it will probably be very good against enemies that have absolutely no armor, because we will be able to do a lot of fast attacks for low damage. However, against enemies with medium or even low armor, it will not be great, because most of those attacks will be totally blocked by the armor. Anyway, a good addition. I also think that the épée is eligible for an upgrade. If you look in here and look under weapons, there is the sharpened épée, and we only need, actually this is something we can totally do, we only need a rock or a ceramic shard to be able to sharpen this weapon. This once mostly harmless fencing épée has had its electrical plunger assembly removed, right, because being a sports weapon, it has like the electrical contact. It is now considerably more lethal, it says, and it goes to Pierce 12. So, nice. Let's resume the looting. We just found a pair of immaculate binoculars, so I will take this and drop the filthy ones. It's a really good find. And another pair of binoculars. This is the House of Explorers. Would you look at that? And the only interesting thing out of this garage is a wetsuit that probably isn't like useful to us for now, but anyway, it's an interesting enough item to warrant collection. Oh boy, there's a surprise in this basement. A mutant cockroach the size of a small dog. together with a fat zombie. Now let's try and quickly take a look if there's anything really useful in here. A small plastic bottle of hydrogen peroxide. This sounds like the thing that might never be useful, but at some point maybe you need it and you look around like crazy. Thread and duct tape. More duct tape and a gallon jug of bleach. A heavy-duty flashlight, pair of safety glasses, and there might be stuff inside here. Now, unfortunately, I do not remember how hard cockroaches are to kill. I know that they can do quite a little bit of damage. What I don't want to do is fight the cockroach and the zombie at the same time. I think the pitchfork can be enough to kill it. I'm gonna try. I was stupid. I'm very encumbered because I've got a lot of stuff in my backpack. Let's see if we can get it. Yes, by having him climb on the sofa. We were able to have the cockroach get out of balance. Starting to run out of stamina here. Gotta be careful. Okay, cockroach was dispatched. I don't need to run to take on the fat zombie. 22, 15 damage. Another 15. And then we can finally catch our breath. And here we are. This is the complete list of the loot that we got out of the 4 houses that make up the small town of Hammond? Was it Hammond or Hammock? Hammond. Small town of Hammond. I picked up a little bit more food, mostly the non-perishable stuff and the fresh eggs that I intend to convert pretty much en masse into scrambled eggs, which could very quickly bring us a couple of levels in cooking. Some books, even though I think I have already most of them, but I couldn't remember right in that moment. I will now try and condense most of this gallon jug into the fewer amount possible, maybe pouring out the remainder 2 or 3 units, so that we have some empty gallon jugs that can be useful. And yeah, nothing major really. I was able to find at least a couple of usable mint condition actually binoculars, a pair of neoprene arm sleeves, which are good armor basically, 3-2 cut for just 2 encumbrance on the arm. That is always good. They're a little bit warm though. They're worn close to skin, so they don't conflict with most other armor that you're gonna wear, but can make you pretty warm real quick. A couple of slingshots and pebbles, and because there was the slingshot, I also took a lot of marbles, which act as ammunition. Which, I mean, 12 dispersion, but 3 damage. I mean, against if we want like to get to hunt squirrels or raccoons or stuff like that, that is more than enough. A couple of baseball bats. We're not gonna use the baseball bat as a weapon. However, even though 19 bash is nothing to scoff at, and plus 3 2-hit bonus also, but they can be modified. Can put nails, I think, in them, or put them on fire or something like that. The fencing sword was good, and a bunch of different tools, leather, apparel that we can disassemble. I'm taking all the thermal electric suits that I can find. Mostly, I mean, I will keep one for the winter, but mostly to disassemble them and get the heating elements out of them. So the only thing that remains to do is load all this stuff on the mobile MacLeod. And there we go. The mobile MacLeod is all loaded up with loot. Now, we're almost out of space. I'm trying to keep it organized, but there's only so much I can do, because, for example, I wanted to keep this space for weapons, but in the end I had to also put a little bit of armor on it, and this is pretty much the only remaining empty space. Other than that, we might have to then just turn around and go back home. And overall, this has been a pretty extensive scouting and looting run. We had some encounter, but we kept mostly out of trouble. So I'm thinking in the next episode, just because we have empty roads ahead and knowing more about the map is always good, we might try and see what there is to see. Maybe south and also west a little bit, and then not stop at all. We'll just come back to base and cook a lot, skill up, and get the fruits out of all this intensive labor that we have done. But all of that will have to wait for next time. So until then, I thank you so very much for sticking here with me, for watching my videos. I hope you like them. I hope you find them enjoyable and interesting. And most of all, I hope to see you next time. Ciao.